This board workshop is being conducted in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Notice of this workshop has been posted online for at least 72 hours. A recording of this workshop is being made and will be available to the public at a later date. The time is now 5:43 p.m., and I'll call this workshop to order. I'll now begin roll call. Dr. Rodriguez? Trustee Cuellar?
Present.
Trustee Castillo?
Present.
Trustee De Los Santos?
Present.
Trustee Nieto? Trustee Trevino? Is present online, correct?
Present online.
Okay. A quorum is not required for a board workshop. We'll move on to item number 2, public comments.
There are none.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Item number 3, interview engineering firms to assign Phase 1 bond projects.
Yes. Let me start by saying you have the handout. The board approved in December 19 firms. And then when I asked you all to give me names for the short list, you all provided 6. So these 6 that we have are E3, Integral, Ethos, Engineering, Halff Associates, Leaf, Sigma, and Trinity. So on to the left, you have the projects. You have the field house replacement at Weslaco East, the tennis courts improvements at Weslaco High, the tracks at Central, Cuellar, Mary Hogue, and B. Garza, the lighting upgrades at Susan Peterson Pack, the fire alarms at Ibarra and Weslaco East, HVAC upgrades district-wide and at Cuellar, B. Garza, and Weslaco High. So to the left, you see we are recommending one architect for these projects. And on the bottom, we have some notes. At the bottom, there's 6 notes. The Board of Trustees approved the competitive seal proposals and in 10 categories in December, and for architects and for engineers. The format for the interviews, like we had yesterday, but I increased the 5 minutes presentation, but 10 minutes for questions, unless you want to go over that, over the 10 minutes. The ranking is 1 through 6, with 1 being the highest. The gray areas that you see is where the engineers stated they do not want to participate in that project. The total amount from the bond election for these projects is $28 million. And then the last one is the trustees will have the assignment of Phase 1 for the engineering firms in their email. If you can open the email, and you will be able to vote electronically at the end. So this is kind of the information that I have to present, and we are ready to, with the first one, Mr. America, which would be the E3. Let you have any questions, board members, on the procedure.
Does anybody have any questions?
No. No.
Okay, we're good to go.
Okay, let's call E3.
Were you able to open your... Coach, were you able to open up the ranking sheet? Unless you want to wait till later.
I thought we were going to do this afterwards.
Yeah,
So-
but you didn't check. Okay, I'll help you just in case.
Okay.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Oh, yeah, we need to-
Thank you.
no, that's not it. Wait a second. Thank you, sir.
Which one?
It's that one, third one.
Dr. Rodriguez is in here, so I guess I'll keep time some time.
I could do it if you want.
It's okay. If I can find my alarm clock here. Stopwatch.
You
Timers.
good?
0.
Perfect.
Before you begin, just a quick explanation. You have 5 minutes to give your presentation. After 5 minutes, we'll have 10 minutes of questions from the board members.
Okay.
Do you have any questions before we begin?
No, ma'am.
Okay, our secretary isn't here to keep the time, so I'll be keeping the time.
Okay.
I'll let you know at 4 minutes when you have 1 more minute left.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
When you start talking, I will begin whenever you're ready.
Okay. Madam President, members of the board, appreciate you giving us the opportunity to visit with you and possibly participate in the bond program at Weslaco ISD. We really appreciate it. My name is Bill Savarino, and I'm with E3 Integral Solutions, Business Development, South Texas Manager for 29 years, all 29 down in the Rio Grande Valley. I've been in the industry. Born and raised in Mercedes and McAllen. I have with me our CEO, Clip Weaver, who has 33 years in the industry as well. So we both specifically did a project, worked with at Weslaco ISD previously. So YA3 is the best firm to partner with. Wanted to go through and make sure that y'all know who we are. We're a Texas-based company. We want to be open and transparent. That's different to other, to different people. But we will be open and transparent to meet Weslaco ISD's needs. We are the most experienced personnel from top to bottom in our industry. We average 22 years of experience. We're a non-manufacturer of products, so we're not going to be pushing product. We're going to be pushing fixes. A lot of school districts has their preferred vendors that they like to use, their preferred manufacturers. We always go with what they prefer. We have an unmatched project track record with school districts in the state of Texas. I think we're close to 300 projects now in the state, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. We have never been involved in any sort of a lawsuit on any construction project that we've ever done in the state of Texas. And overall, we feel that we have the best value, that we provide the best value for our clients. As I mentioned about our references, we have a ton. Our expertise is in the K through 12 market. We understand schools, we understand schedules and testing and everything that goes with all of that with working with school districts. I mentioned that Weslaco was a client of ours. We did a project a couple years back where it was a $12.8 million project, HVAC at the high school, at Mary Hogue Middle School, and at Margot. That also included energy management system implementations at 13 facilities as well. We also have implemented a ton of LED projects throughout the state of Texas with school districts. I think we have over 140 or so just in the state of Texas alone. In the Rio Grande Valley, we have Brownsville, San Benito, Rio Hondo, Raymondville, Ed Calchelsa, Donna, Valley View, Rio Grande City, Idea Public Schools. So we have a major footprint in the LED industry as well. Here's some pictures here of some pre and post at Rio Hondo ISD in the gym. I think your taxpayers and the teachers and students will love the pre and post once y'all implement the LED projects. Here's a couple pictures from Brownsville ISD as well. So as far as engineering resources, we have 11 Ps and 3 EITs. All engineers are located in Texas. We only work in Texas. They perform energy modeling, analysis, project scope development, design engineering, provide detailed cost estimates, and one of our expertise that we bring to the table is, if desired, we have energy savings estimates as well. We do that through preliminary assessments and utility assessments. And then, of course, final project proposal development and documentation. Because of the work that we did, whenever we did our project with Weslaco ISD, we did a lot of HVAC work in facilities, and the projects, there was not enough money to fund all the projects. So we have a lot of the work already completed that the district is actually looking at implementing. As we also gave the district an LED proposal back in the day too. So we've already walked facilities. We're at that point to where we would need to go back and just double check some things, make sure we didn't miss anything. But we have all the walkthroughs and everything completed on the LED as well.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you. We feel that we provide the quickest process from development, project implementation to from developing the project to implementation for everyone involved. So I had one request. I'm hoping that Dr. Rivetta and the board, of course, but we do have a different way of something we'd like for y'all to consider. And if Dr. Rivera would if we had a meeting and he felt that it was to the best interest of Weslaco ISD, then bring it back to you at that time. But just want to bring it out there. But, we have a way to make sure all local subcontractors bid the work. It speeds up the delivery of the projects, eliminates change orders, which is a big deal. It reduces all the risk to Weslaco. It puts it on us, on E3. Significant purchasing and facility departments, saving of time and money. Doesn't need to advertise another RFQ, and one contract. So we'll take questions at that time.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Savarino.
you.
We'll go ahead and open up for questions. We have 10 minutes for questions, and we can just open questions. If anybody has any questions, go ahead.
You want to go or I go?
Go ahead, you go first, sister.
Okay, so I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
So I'm very familiar with your firm because of my role, and I do a lot of your deals, right? And I know you guys are a very good firm and you do good work. And I know where you're going with that last question or that last request. Now, if Weslaco ISD does not change that, what is your role in this process that we're doing today?
Well, we'd like to sit down with you and discuss that and find out exactly what that role is going to be, if we can participate. We are an engineering firm, design engineering firm, but we feel strongly that one of the reasons that we've never been involved in any lawsuits in all of our projects is that we engineer it, design it, and we build it. And we think that there's a process that you still have all the subcontractors that you would do in your normal process play in the game, that they can be involved in it. It's just a different process that brings a lot of benefit to the district. So we would like to have a better understanding of where you're coming from. It wouldn't be a design build. It's not a design build RFQ or anything like that. It's just a different process.
Okay, so like so your role even in that delivery method, you're still the engineer and overseeing the project.
Correct,
You're not
yes,
the
sir.
contractors.
No, sir.
Okay.
Well, in the one I'm talking about, we would provide the contract management. We would just still use all the subcontractors that you would normally use in the CSP. It's the exact same scenario in terms of who would be involved in the project,
But
on the implementation.
But if we do it our way, your role would be kind of engineering and just an engineer. I would
Engineering,
assume.
design, and then depending on how y'all, for the project management and construction management part, I'm not sure exactly how y'all were going to handle that part of it.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. I just wanted to make sure what your role is in the normal delivery method that you do it, and you're kind of overseeing. You're not the contractor. You guys are the engineers and kind of the oversight, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
So that would still work in our method that we're going to now. I understand
Okay.
the basis for why you want us to consider the other one, but say we say no, there's still my question is, there's still a place for E3 if the board were to decide to select you.
I believe so, yes, sir.
And that's some of the questions that I had too. Do you have any more, Mr. Castillo?
That's it.
Yeah, that was some of my questions that I had too, because I wanted to clarify, because I did have some community members reach out and they wanted to learn a little bit more of the processes. It's something that I had to learn when I first came on as a board member, as to the process you have to take when you do construction with taxpayer dollars that involve the state. And that's hiring architects and engineering firms, depending on what type of projects you have, because they represent the organization,
Right,
the
yes,
taxpayer, and the funding. And so that leads me into this question, which kind of piggybacks off of Trustee Castillo, is that as for your role, especially right now, what we're talking about here, right, as far as the engineering firm and part of the MEP, right, at that scale, what is the control and assurance process that you have at the on-site level? Okay, after the drawings are drawn, the construction documents, etc., what role do you play at the on-site level to touch base and have the oversight over the contractor and their subcontractors to make sure that they're actually implementing the process as it was drawn up or planned?
So I'll take the first shot and then I'll let you back that. Okay. So, at the end of the day, we're engineering and designing the project, right? So we're responsible for that portion of it. Mm-hmm. Depending on what y'all contract with us and what the responsibilities are, I think will determine exactly how much involvement that we have in that project.
Okay.
We typically If we
Right.
can't build it, we typically don't engineer it and design it, typically.
Because
Doesn't
typically
mean we
you're like
don't.
design build, right?
Yeah, that's typically the way we do it. And but we don't want to use the design build procurement, but we have a way to get there that will benefit y'all. But to answer your question, we're still be responsible for engineering design, and that means that there's going to be project management, construction management involved as well.
Okay.
You want to take a shot at that?
I'll just clarify, just to make sure that everybody, because I hate "I thought," right? And I don't want you guys to say "I thought."
Right.
Bill brought up a point. Historically, we don't design what we don't build, and historically, we don't build what we don't design. However, we would consider designing it and doing contract administration if that's where the district goes. We're certainly qualified to do that. We do it on our own projects. And it'd be something that we've talked to you about. And if you want us to do that, then we would consider it.
Okay.
Is that
Yes.
clear?
Yes.
Clearer?
Yes, yeah. I know we're in a different situation right now, especially with this company and this presentation.
And this is just to be clear, this is a direction that we are contemplating as a company, starting to do just more straight stick design.
Right.
Historically, we do it the other way.
Right.
But we would consider in this case, if that's what y'all want, we would consider doing that. And we're certainly qualified to do that.
Yeah, and just so the community is aware, the reason we're asking these questions is because historically, E3 has done design build where they've kind of taken control of the whole project. But that's not the construction or delivery method that we've selected so far as a board. And E3 is a very good company. They do top-notch work. So that's why we're asking these questions to see if there's even a role for them in our process. And if so, yeah, just so people who are watching and are interested, that's the basis for these types of questions as opposed to the questions that we asked yesterday.
Okay. Did we answer your question clearly on that?
Yes.
No
Yeah.
ambiguity?
Yes. And it's a difficult situation because your firm, like I said, is different. Your process is different from the other firms we'll be interviewing. Yes, I understand.
My question is to you, because I'm looking at the last slide. If you can, what are the benefits from having one contract for the project versus multiple contracts for each part of the project? How can that benefit us?
So, I think in my 29 years of doing this, I remember the first 2 or 3 years of calling on all the school districts, and we said, man, what am I going to do in 3 years? I mean, I've already called on all my districts. There were a lot of projects, especially in the Rio Grande Valley, unfortunately, and this is my home as well. Quality of construction wasn't where it needed to be in a lot of places. And so a lot of times you would have an engineering firm that puts out specs, and you have these companies that bid on it, and they're going to implement the project as minimal as they can to meet spec. And if something goes wrong, they start pointing fingers at who's at fault and so
Right.
forth. And so having one contract means that there's no more finger pointing. There's one neck to choke, and we're responsible from the engineering. We can't blame anybody for engineering. We can't blame anybody for construction. Even though we're not doing the construction, it's under our contract. E3 is totally responsible for every aspect of it. That's what I mean by one contract instead of a problem that comes up. And there's lawsuits that happen every day in construction down here. We've avoided that because our projects, we've been able to, do quality implementations.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the accountability is centralized. And that's kind of something that I know we had discussed prior to in previous meetings when we were looking and contemplating construction was the fact that we as a board and including our superintendent, we have zero room for error in this process. And so as we move forward, and the way that it's designed, where you, like you said, you have an independent architect, an independent engineering firm, and then you move into contractors who then subcontract out, right? Subcontractors.
Right.
And that goes back to my question is, we've been asking the architects and we've been asking the engineering firms, what is your control and assurance process? Because you did the drawings, you did the schematic design and the final blueprints and construction documents are put out, but who's there overseeing the subcontractors and the contractors? 'Cause at the end of the day, like you said, they may be coming in and doing the minimal specs. Right. And that really don't meet the standard for the engineer or the architect.
Right.
And so that's what we've been asking all these different firms is how deep of a dive do you make at the on-site level? So thank you for clarifying with your firm.
Okay.
Mr. Trevino, you're online. Do you have any questions? We have 1 minute left. We can't hear you. Do you have any questions, Mr. Cuellar, before?
No,
Okay.
it's been addressed, what other than that, how recent was your evaluation of what you were looking at?
That was a
For
couple
what's the
years
lighting?
ago. That's why on the LED, on the, when we gave, yes, sir. It was a couple years ago, and that's why I said we would need to come in and spot check to make sure, you
So
know,
you'll-
any additions and those type.
reevaluate.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're, like I said, we're probably 90% there.
I think the only thing that held back that project was at the time we were looking at just cost.
Right.
I think that's what we budgeted out of the budget.
Test.
Yes.
And then it was something that we delayed because we were focusing on
Yes, sir.
Jones.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, we can go a little bit over 10 minutes if we still have, and then Mr. Trevino just came on. Go ahead.
So our concern, and the reason that we went with this delivery method is we didn't want to limit the amount of folks that participate in the process as far as contractors and whatnot. I'm very familiar with the benefits of the process that you guys are used to doing, but is there a way, if the board were to select y'all, that we don't limit the amount of,
That's where I was going, and that meeting that I'd like to have is a process, and Clip did, you know, he sold a big project to state agencies, and they had to do, basically, we'd have a bid, so to speak, like a pre-bid meeting or whatever, and invite everyone to, and we can qualify and do everything we need to do to make sure that they're involved in the project, make sure they get a chance to submit their bids. So we can include everyone just as you would in a normal CSP and invite all those people to bid on that same project. And they would be the subcontractors on the project. It'd just be under our umbrella. Yes, sir.
Mr. Trevino, are you on, can you can hear him now? Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, I can hear. My question is, I just hear an echo. My question is, I know you said you built a building for Weslaco. Was it the band hall that you designed?
No, it was retrofit work. It was HVAC retrofit work. It was not new construction. It was, yeah, it was HVAC work at the high school, East, Margot, and Mary Hogue.
Okay, now, obviously, we're going to be going out for bids once we select the architects and engineers. Do you have a construction company that would be able to submit a proposal or submit a quote? Construction or?
Well, I guess we would for LED, for sure. I mean, we have that opportunity, but that doesn't mean we can also, it depends on what the district wants to do. So we actually we wouldn't on the mechanical side, that would be total subcontractors, but we do in-house LED lighting as well.
Okay.
Yeah, our CEO is going to clarify that.
This is Clip Weaver.
Okay, I guess I was asking along the lines of that new program that you would be attempted to implement, or if you were selected, like an all-in-one package deal.
Well, that's what Mr. Savarino was suggesting as a potential. That would be one contract where we own everything, and if something is missed, we eat it, versus an architect, E&O, or a subcontractor or a contractor fighting over it. We eat it. That's ours. That's to benefit of one contract. I want to clarify this, and this would be a legal question for you guys. I don't think we could serve as the independent engineer.
No.
And then turn around and bid our own project. Like, that's not going to happen. So we do have a construction group that does this, but I don't think it would be appropriate for us to do that if we're the engineer of record. Just we want to clarify his question.
and the scope of work that you're interested in is the HVAC upgrades and the lighting upgrades, right?
Correct.
Okay, are there any further questions? Okay, that'll be all the questions.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Savarino, Mr. Weaver, for your presentation. Much
Thank you very
appreciated.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Have a good evening.
Mr. Merkel? Can we get Ethos?
What's next? Ethos. Our next presenter is Ethos Engineering.
For the record, Dr. Rodriguez showed up to the meeting at 6:03 p.m. And the next engineering firm that we have is Ethos Engineering. And they do the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. It's locked too, so they don't come in and out. Yeah.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be locked every time. Hello, good to see you again. Thank you.
This is the group I'm used to you seeing with. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Doc, you got the time?
Yeah.
Good evening. Before you begin, I'll just let you know you have 5 minutes for your presentation. And then after the presentation, we have 10 minutes of questions, whatever questions we can fit in those 10 minutes from the board. And if you have, do you have any questions for us?
No?
Okay. Whenever you're ready to begin, Dr. Rodriguez will start timing you. He'll let you know at the 4-minute mark when you have 1 more minute left. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and begin.
Thank you. Yes, we're ready.
Okay.
Well, good evening, members of the board. Our first challenge will be to how to compress 25 years of experience in 5 minutes. So, my name is Cesar Gonzalez, and with me I have Guillermo Quintanilla. We are both principals and partners at Ethos Engineering. And let me start by first saying congratulations congratulations to the board on your vision, on convincing the stakeholders to pass the bond, identifying the needs of the district, and doing the due diligence to select the best partners to execute this project or these projects. We understand your mission: be good stewards, care, and for the health, safety, and welfare of the students and the staff. Be fiscally responsible while achieving the learning outcomes. We understand your critical needs regarding the HVAC, the lighting, and the fire alarm systems. Your concerns are real. Economic uncertainty, the budget are tighter more than ever, while the construction costs keep rising. Your needs are urgent. The schools needs to be safe, and the learning environment needs to be conducive for students. And that means indoor air quality, comfortable HVAC, good lighting, basically adequate facilities. Historically, during the difficult times, the HVAC maintenance, it's deferred, and your maintenance staff are superheroes trying to keep your facilities functional. The unpredictable and turbulent times of supply chains, the cost rising, the tight labor, give us the questions about will the bond funds go far along? Will the project be done on time? Will the project quality be good? The good news is this is what we excel at. You need a partner to help you achieve your goals, to be committed for the long term, and to have highly evolved quality assurance and quality controls who are doing these projects, and not compromise the basic principles of health, safety, and welfare. Finally, have a partner who thinks having happy customers is the #1 business strategy. And I will let my partner to continue on the history of our company.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Our history, I will be very brief because this is not the main intent for us to tell us who we are. I mean, we have a history already for many years. You can see we were established in 2014. However, we came from our previous firms, and the key staff in our office exceeds over 115 years of experience. So that's what we bring to the table. We have a lot of knowledge in the design phase, but more than anything else, in the field. We have a staff that they're completely embedded into the construction phase. And as you can see, in the past 5 years, we exceeded over $500 million worth of construction costs. On the leadership, I'll reinforce again, I mean, we've been in the community. We're in the community of designing and the construction, indirectly responding to you directly. We're not affiliated to any.
1 minute.
Go. Thank you. Well, in conclusion, your issues are real, and with greater pressure to make pragmatic and sensible decisions. We must balance first cost, life cycle cost, the demands of your staff, the demands of your students, and your ability to deliver. So we represent success, and our designs have been vetted and they have been tested. Long after we're done, these projects will stand as a symbol of our values and beliefs into the next century. So let's go and build something together that we can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have 10 minutes for questions, and it's going to be an open question format. So if anybody has questions, go ahead and ask.
I'll break the ice. Good evening. I wanted to talk more about your field staff, okay? I wanted to kind of ask, I'm looking at the list of projects that you have. I wanted to ask as far as what quality control and assurance process do you have that ensures the accuracy of your designs at the on-site level? And I know that you mentioned that you have an experienced field staff, and that's what I've been asking everyone that's coming forward, is that what oversight do you have there to ensure that the accuracy of your drawings are being implemented by the contractors or subcontractors at the installation process?
Okay, you can see on our chart, you can see there are 4 people, Ryan, Jose, Mark, and Luis. Well, Ryan and Jose are our CS staff. Okay. And we have protocols in place. Before we start construction, we develop an agenda. These are the expectations from submittals, recurring meetings. Sometimes it's going to be weekly or bi-weekly, depending on the activities. But we will keep track on submittals, RFIs, everything. And every pay application, they go on site to verify what they're claiming is there. Mm-hmm. And the quality is there. So we issue field reports. Once we go through that step of CA, the commissioning staff goes in towards the end. And that's where they start getting into the nitty-gritty of the system, because the systems now are very complex. Mm-hmm. The systems on the lighting and HVAC, and mainly HVAC, the comfort. Make sure that the design parameters established on the construction documents are being followed to the T's. So we go into the controls, and then we start seeing all the sequences, how the system is supposed to turn on, maintaining temperature and humidity. And then we issue a report saying all the deficiencies, and we'll keep track of those deficiencies until they are met. Even when you substantial completion achieved, we still engage a year later, ensure that the system is still operating as intended.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the detail.
Any other questions?
Yes. Good evening. Have you guys ever been involved in any type of litigation with respect to your work?
Never.
That's good. And then I see that in your list, you've done some work for Weslaco ISD. Mm-hmm. You did the Rudy Silva fire alarm upgrades. And I know you guys do good work. I was involved in your Hidalgo work. I know that was a good project. But have you ever been involved in a project with respect to where there is a huge delay for any reason?
Well, the delays that we face, the construction was because of the pandemic, and especially in the last 2 years. And what we faced was 2 items mainly. Air conditioning equipment, the big pieces of equipment, it used to be 3-4 months delivery. They were up to a year. And the other big ticket item was the main electrical service switchboards. Those were, again, 4 months. They're over a year. So what we did on our designs, from a year to now, our electrical service are different components. Instead of getting one big box, we decided to have small boxes, and that has expedited the construction sequences.
Okay, so if you guys were to get selected, your role in these projects that you guys are interviewing for, the lighting upgrades and the HVAC upgrades and the fire alarm system upgrades, would to be essentially overseeing the project and helping us go out for bid and selecting a contractor and all that good stuff?
Yes.
And designing it and all that?
Yes, we get involved in all the phases of the construction, starting from the design to the bidding process, the construction administration. And one of the uniqueness on our team, as Guillermo was mentioning and on the organizational chart, our commissioning department, we set up that department as a third-party entity within ourselves for quality controls, because we run our plans and our drawings through them so that they can punch holes through it to make sure that that does not reflect into the field. They're the ones that bring us all the lessons learned by being in the trenches. And Mark Warren is doing commission for 25 years. So he's very knowledgeable, he's very passionate about commissioning.
Okay, thank you.
My question to you is, we have, I'm looking at 4 buildings that need HVAC upgrades. I see that you have 2 project managers on your team. How often, I see, and also you did work for Brownsville ISD, very similar to what we're probably going to do here. You did 7 schools over in Brownsville ISD. How often are your project managers out there on the job sites making sure things are getting done? Is it like weekly, daily? How often are they out there?
You want to respond to that?
Yeah, I'll respond to that one. Typically, since the equipment has long delivery times, there is nothing happening early. However, we have our on-call meetings every 2 weeks, just to ensure that the timeline for delivery are coming. Once the activities start happening on the field, that person will be on the site on a weekly basis. Because once they get into the field, it moves very fast. So that is the sequence that we implemented.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the way, just to add one more thing, the way we see it is we set the tones as the beginning so that the contractor is not expecting something different later, but we set the tone of enforcing the specs, enforcing the construction documents since the very beginning. And the CA part, once they get involved, the contractor is already in that mode that, hey, this is what Ethos is expecting you to do.
Okay.
I had one more question. So when we're looking at the design and you're creating that design, and do you have consultants from the actual HVAC companies coming in, or is that just all internal on your part? And what is the percentage of change orders, or maybe have you ever had a situation where maybe the design that was drawn up and put out for bid didn't match the spec, or there were specs that couldn't actually be implemented, and then there had to be change orders that then came back? Because that's also another big factor that we're looking at, is we really don't want to have too many change orders, understand the unforeseen conditions, but we don't want to have change orders that are unnecessary because of a lack of oversight, where then later on it affects future projects because there was an unexpected cost.
Yeah.
Well, once in the project that we've done, once we get the go-ahead, we go to the site. We make dimensions, let's say HVAC equipment, we measure the curves. So we know the equipment is gonna come in, where it's gonna go. And then we engage with a structural engineer to make sure that piece of equipment can be supported at that location. And then we check the electrical, make sure the electrical that is coming, what is the size, what is the gauge of the ground. So we check all those intricacies to prevent those surprises down the road. And then we do it over and over and over. Okay. We've been doing an HVAC upgrade for the last 20 years, so this is nothing new for us.
And when you're inspecting the actual installation and the area of installation, do you actually look at the supporting structure as well too? And at that time, would you be able to give us that? Because we discussed that yesterday with the roofing companies, that we're looking at first going with HVAC installations, or they're thinking of. The suggestion was made that and I wanted your opinion as well, to move forward with HVAC for those campuses that need HVAC improvements, to do that first and then do the roofing.
100%.
And yes, and so at that time, that's when you all would notify us in your inspections that, hey, we have some structural issues that we have to address as well.
Yes,
that would be part of the observation.
Yes, we're not the know-it-all,
right.
So we recognize that, and part of our leadership is we recognize that. So we have to call the people who are experts, and specifically for HVAC. And we always need structural engineering, and we also need architectural services too, because they need to deal with the roofing part, and the structural engineer needs to deal with the support for the unit. So yes, we do call for other consultants to our team.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Trevino, I know you're online. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I would like to go over a list. I appreciate the list of projects and the way you guys broke them down with showing all the HVAC upgrades and everything. I just wanted to point that out. You have a very impressive list here. And that was it. I just wanted to make sure, I'm sure our constituents aren't able to see this, that you clearly are a respectable engineering firm and very capable of doing whatever we ask you guys to do, have you here in Weslaco. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Do any other board members have any questions?
Just to clarify on the consultants, those consultants that you work with, are those in-house or you contract with other consultants?
We contracted,
Okay,
and this is other consultants that we normally collaborate on a regular basis.
okay,
Typically, I mean, we can work with an architect and we work on them and the structural engineer. So this is a group that we always collaborate.
Okay.
So we know the expectations, how do they react to this kind of project.
And those entities, are they local?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and they were listed in the
The
statement of qualifications that we submitted. They were listed there. Yeah, they're all local.
time's up.
Okay, there are no further questions. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time and your presentation. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
You have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Quintanilla, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just check something. They do good work.
These next ones do everything.
Yeah.
And they've done these kind of work before, the tracks and the tins.
Okay,
Yeah, because
Just to make sure.
okay,
According to America, they have, but I want them to tell us.
okay.
These goats for sure are gonna get the turf and the tennis court.
Yeah, yeah. So we did that, like you said last time, we did that before.
They can do everything. I got one.
We have no other option. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Good evening.
That's good for you.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Before we begin, just to explain, we have 5 minutes for your presentation. After the 5-minute presentation, we'll open it up for questions from the board for 10 minutes. Dr. Rodriguez over here in the corner is the timekeeper, so he'll let you know at 4 minutes when you have 1 minute left.
Perfect.
Okay, so whenever you're ready to begin, go ahead and start, and he'll start the time.
Okay. Well, good evening, board. Thank y'all for giving us an opportunity to present to y'all today on these qualifications. My name is Raul Garcia. I will be your project manager for any projects that come out of here. I will be the one that ensures that your budgets and schedules are met throughout the project. With me, I brought several folks with me that are going to be helping with this project. First of all, I have Marcos Diaz. He's our operations manager for the McAllen office. I've also brought Leroy Martinez. He is our mechanical engineer that will also be serving as our deputy project manager, specifically on MEP-related projects. I brought Jose Delgado. He is our MEP ICT quality control engineer that will ensure that we're putting plans out there that are of quality standards. I've also got Roxy de la Cruz, she's our civil engineer of record. Solveig Clausen, she's our drainage engineer that will help with any storm systems projects that we may require. Also have Rudy Juarez, who is our safety and security and telecommunications specialist, and Ardi Cuellar, who is our client advocate for McAllen office. Basically another conduit to reach if y'all can't reach me. So first of all, I want to say that we're vested in this community. We're vested in this school district. You know, a lot of the folks I have here with me today are from Weslaco, have kids here in Weslaco, teachers and friends that teach here at the school district. So we want to make sure we have successful projects just as much as you all do. A little bit about Halff. We've worked on over 50 school districts throughout the state of Texas, primarily doing new schools and renovations, looking at mechanical, electrical, plumbing, as well as safety, security, and telecommunications. As far as our office here locally, we have 70 people here in our office that every single discipline that you all may need are here in our office, in our local office. The other thing I want to point out is we know construction. You know, whether the project be design build or design bid build, we've done them all. We also will provide opinions of probable construction costs for any project that we do. That way you as the owner know upfront what the costs are going to be. The other thing is we work with all the local architects here in the valley. So if we need to team up with an architect, we're here to do that as well. We can also have the resources and bench to be able to put multiple people on projects if we need to. If I need 10 people to finish a project off to be on schedule, we can definitely do that. Currently we're working with Mr. Americo Garza on the school board project or the scoreboard project for Weslaco East, and I think he can attest to our responsiveness on that project. We're 20 minutes away. If y'all need me to come over for a meeting, I'll do what I have to do to, come meet y'all here for a meeting. And, as an example, on the scoreboard project, Mr. Garza called me at one time and said, hey, can you meet me here for a meeting? I said, sure, I'll be right there. And so I did that. We were able to solve some issues with some scheduling, and I think it went very well. I want to be your trusted advisor. I don't want to come here and say I'm going to turn in a set of plans and be done with it. Like, I'm here to see it from design to bidding to construction to the end till we have a successful project that we all can be proud of. We've evaluated the project list that you all have put out, and we feel we have a good grasp of what the school district is looking for, and we have the resources available to handle each and every one of those projects. I think our SOQ that you have seen speaks for itself. We have the experience and the expertise to handle any one of these projects that you all have. 1 minute, sir. Yes, sir. The other thing I want to point out is we've left the flyer here for you all. It has a little bit of information about every one of us here that's going to be working on the projects, as well as some QR codes that will link you to some projects that regarding safety, security, and telecommunications that were written by some of the folks that are here with me today. Again, the only thing I want to say is I look forward to continuing to work with the school district in the future. I want to thank you again for the opportunity to present to you all, and with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and have open format questions. So if any board member has questions, go ahead and ask.
I just want to ask, just for the record, Rafael, are you and I related?
Maybe, possibly.
You're Cuellar, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm Cuellar, and I just want to know, and you're from Weslaco? And I don't have relatives, so I just want to know if there's a conflict of interest. Are we okay?
No, he's curious.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Just for the record. Just for the record.
And you're being transparent about it.
Absolutely. Okay.
I guess, we're going to start first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start off first. I'm going to ask you a question that I've been asking everyone else that's presenting as well. Is what quality control and assurance process do you have at the outside level to make sure that your drawings are actually implemented, for accuracy and quality. So can you, and I want to give you some time, because I know you only had 5 minutes, this is untimed, so I just want to give you some time to go a little bit deeper into that, because what we're trying to do is just see, like you said earlier, you hit something right on the nail for me. I said, we just don't make drawings, turn them in, and you don't see us and we're gone. So,
Sure.
So this is an opportunity now, to summarize and really give us some detail on what you all do and what you all provide.
Yeah, well, I'll start off by saying every single one of our projects goes through a QA/QC process. We have quality control engineers that handle overlooking every single one of our projects, making sure we're not missing steps. I mean, we want to put out the quality plans and specifications that are required to have a successful project out there. And I can turn it over to Mr. Jose Delgado here, who's one of our QA/QC managers that that can discuss further.
Thank you, Raul, and good evening. Thank you again.
Good evening.
Every single one of the projects that we have, anyone that we have involved in the projects, we ensure that they're very familiar with the scope of work. If they have any questions funneled through Raul in this case to make sure that we have really good communication. The items that we look for in every single one of the drawings, we go to a high level of detail, such as even look at the font size, to that extent. Font size, border, making sure that we have the board that is the current board, for example. We do a lot of cross-checks between electrical, mechanical, ICT or technology. We do a lot of coordination also with elements that we find in the field, pictures that are taken. We have weekly meetings for every single one of the projects where we ensure that every single one of the individuals that touches that project understands not just the snapshot of that project at that point in time, but really where that project needs to be at. That way we have this timeline with all the possible options of where this can lead to. So communication is key. It's not just a quality control process that stays in-house. We involve all the stakeholders to make sure that everyone understands exactly where we're going. We have a formal process where we have third-party review. For instance, if there's the electrical engineer record on a particular project, takes it, let's say, from 50% construction documents. We bring another electrical engineer within Halff to review, who is not involved in that project, to review the scope of work, to review the progress on the project, and for a 50% construction document, what is the expectation? And then what happens at that point, that individual provides, we call those red marks. There's a meeting where that third party sits down with the engineer of record to ensure that he or she understands each one of the comments. It doesn't mean that those are going to be captured, but many times that leads to, okay, that's right, that's another thing to consider. And obviously we have seasoned individuals part of this QA/QC process that have seen many of school districts, because maybe the approach, maybe the technical aspects it's going to work, but maybe the approach needs to change. Given on a previous project that we have somewhere else, that it could be of most benefit for the school district. So again, it's a very robust quality control process. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the detail.
And I'll just add real quickly, every single project that we do requires a QA/QC process. We have a folder. Every single one of our projects has a folder that says, QA/QC and who reviewed it. Every single project we do has higher ups that ask, who was the QA/QC manager on this one? Who provided it? Did it come from somebody in our Corpus office? Did it come from somebody in our Austin office? Did it come from somebody locally? We have those records on every single folder to make sure that something was done. We have to have every single project QA/QC'd before it goes out.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Castillo?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. I'm going to focus on your work with respect to turf and tennis courts and running tracks, because according to our list, you're the only firm we're interviewing that included that in their scope of work.
Okay.
So if you don't fumble the bag, it's you.
Great.
So as far as running tracks are concerned, we're looking at doing running tracks at each of the middle schools. What's y'all's experience in the installation of tracks?
We work with manufacturers all over the place that deal with running tracks as well as the turf fields. We recently did one at Edinburgh High School. that was to convert their natural turf to artificial turf and take into account the track that runs around it. Again, a lot of these turf manufacturers and track manufacturers, they have their set of requirements that they need to put down. We work directly with them to ensure we're giving them the proper drainage that they need. Again, a lot of things, they're supposed to soak up some water and not just cause runoff everywhere. So you have to put storm system, you have to put some grade elevations out there to make sure they meet the UIL requirements. So we work directly with manufacturers based on, if you have a manufacturer of choice, we work with Halff, we work with Field Turf and others that help us put these packages together. But we work, in conjunction with the manufacturer on some of these things.
And as far as the tracks are concerned, you work with those companies as well?
We work with those same companies as well. They may turn us on to somebody else specifically for a track itself. A lot of times they try and, keep the track that is already there. But if they need to rehab the track, then it's a different, manufacturer that we will work directly with.
Yeah, no, I believe these are new installations, right? With the exception of one. So I've seen circumstances where there's a track installation, but maybe the drainage wasn't done correctly, so that track doesn't last very long, right? And we don't want to be in that type of situation.
Yeah, I mean, the one we did at Edinburgh High School has a drain that runs around the entire field, and that outfalls to a system. But everything percolates into that artificial turf, drains to that pipe system that drains out, and then the actual track itself also drains directly to those pipes that are perforated pipes, basically.
So you guys have the experience with respect to making sure there's sufficient drainage when it comes to the installation of tracks.
Yes, we had a very successful project with Edinburgh High School.
And then as far as your tennis court improvements, how you guys have experience with respect to those type of projects?
The same, as far as the tennis court improvements, when you're talking about the resurfacing of tennis courts, again, that is working directly with a manufacturer, making sure we're meeting the grades that they need to be UIL certified. I mean, you cannot just go out there and build a tennis court without having the correct grades on them and knowing where the drainage is going to go. Then as far as the lighting goes with it, that's where I depend on, Jose Delgado to help me with the lighting required for UIL competitions. So we work with those as well.
And then turf, I mean, you mentioned turf already, but I mean, that's also very important when it comes to drainage. And then trying to get all the life expectancy out of that. Because this is for our Weslaco East High School Stadium, which is not necessarily our playing stadium, but it's a practice stadium, but we still want them to have the best.
Absolutely.
And is there a track out there, sir?
Yes.
So working in conjunction, again, making sure that the drainage is all done correctly and.
The same thing for Edinburgh High School. It was their practice field. It was not it's not the one they play their games on. They play at the main stadium in Edinburgh. These are all the practice fields in Edinburgh North, Edinburgh High, and Econ. All of them had got artificial turf. But yeah, we had to make sure we put the correct drainage in place so we wouldn't have any issues in the.
And you guys have the expertise with respect to coming up with those specs, and because I never knew how much different type of turfs there were out there, but they're different.
They're different, and so you'll have one manufacturer say, I have these kind of pebbles, and others have different types of pebbles, and so we come up with a requirement, and this is all going to be based on discussions with you as the owner, and you with discussions with other school districts, and some people like Halff, some people like Field Turf. There's others out there. Nolan Ryan has his own Field Turf deal as well. We've dealt with all three of them, and it's a lot of it's going to be dependent on what y'all feel comfortable with, because there are differences, and they're minor differences, but they're differences.
So you guys have that expertise.
We have that expertise. We've seen, it's hard to compare, because you'll see Halff saying, I did the Texas Tech and the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and then you have somebody else say, well, I did the UT Longhorns and A&M's.
I've learned that they both say, because they've both done it at one point in time, so they all claim it. Yeah.
They've done them all, and so they're very experienced in that.
But yeah, I'm more concerned with the running tracks just because I think that's going to be a great benefit to our students at the middle school. And so I just want to ensure that it's done, sorry I took the time, that it's done correctly and that they last as long as they possibly can.
No, absolutely. And I'll give you an example with the field turfs that we did at the Edinburgh High School. There are some areas, you got the pole vault area that is got the same kind of track, I guess, fielding on there as a track, and when you're putting in field turf in, you've got to take that into account as well. You got to work them together. So
I had a question. In your statement of qualifications, you have a list of individuals that specialize. I'm assuming it's listed this way: in civil design, wastewater design, drainage design, environmental assessments, landscaping, etc., surveying. These individuals, are they part of the firm? They're consulted, or they're actually...
they're all part of the firm. They all work for Halff Associates. A majority of the disciplines that are required based on the bond projects that we've seen are here locally in our McAllen office.
Excellent.
There may be a handful. Like if we start getting into landscape architecture, we'll have our Houston office or our Austin office help us with those. But we do it all the time. I mean, we work so much with like A&M Kingsville that wants our landscape architects to do the work, and they do that.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Impressive.
Before you go, just, does anybody have any other questions they want to ask?
The contractor you will be local?
What's that?
The contractors that you'll be using to take care of these projects?
Depending on the contract itself. If it's for instance a turf project. I mean, if y'all want a turf project, you're looking at Halff and field turf. Whether they're local or they're from Houston, they do a lot of work down here. They do a ton of work down here. I just don't know if they're physically local, but they do a majority of the work on all the field turfs here in the valley. So,
and that would be something that we would have. It would come to us later once we put it out for bid.
Correct. When you put it out to bid, you're going to have the field turfs, the Halff and the Nolan Ryan turf people come out, and they're going to want to bid this project, and you'll see the differences in prices. I mean, they'll have something different, but you typically come from up north, but they got reps that are here local. So, Mr.
Trevino, you're online. Do you have any questions?
I do.
There's a little delay.
It's a delay and it's an echo.
Mr. Trevino, do you have any questions?
We have to mute.
He's not saying anything, so I'm guessing he doesn't. But anyway, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. I don't think he's there to ask any questions, or he'd say yes. If there are no further questions, I believe we're done.
Okay.
But thank you very much.
for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you, team, for coming.
I
Great
appreciate it.
presentation. Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. Okay, halfway there, not bad. Halfway there, not bad. 6.5.
I'm just curious. I didn't even think that we have out of something like that.
Yeah, the cousins are fine.
Well, this one, we just got played together, right? So we have more engineers and we have 5 slots.
I don't know which outlets.
So our next presenter is Leaf Engineers.
No, I'm gonna keep messing with them. I'm sorry, Leaf.
I've heard of all the other ones except for Leaf.
Dr. Rodriguez, the ranking is going to be online.
On there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I told you.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the message.
There he is.
Okay, we have a spreadsheet on there.
You can see him now visually.
Further sports division. But not with Leaf.
Leaf?
Yeah. He did a bunch of work in PSJ for PK. No. PK doesn't have a PSJ. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You're well aware of what went on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. I think we're missing one board member, but I'm sure he'll be back. So before you begin, just to let you know, you have 5 minutes to do your presentation. Dr. Rodriguez over on the corner will let you know at the 4-minute mark when you have 1 minute left over.
Perfect.
After the presentation, we'll have 10 minutes of questions from the board. So whenever you're ready to begin, you can go ahead and start, and he'll start the time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate everyone for the time to be here. It's a privilege. My name is Joe Daher. I'm with Leaf Engineer. I'm one of the directors of our company. So Leaf Engineers, we've done also projects with Weslaco in the East Central High School. And this is a little bit about my background. I've been at Leaf for 17 years, and I've been in the engineer business for over 30 years. And Leaf is really focused more on the educational. We do K-12s and higher education. We do some civic and government, corporate, commercial, healthcare. And we are also a full-time facility MEP. We do mechanical, electrical, plumbing, technology, security. So we have done, you can see, over 240 new students completed. And the past 10 years, a total of 2.8 million students. Background experience, we're committed to superior customer service. I can read this all day, but the point is we care about our projects, and we care not only just to get the work, we stand behind where we design from the beginning to the end. I myself involve every single project that is taken in my office. And we have over 450 architects and engineers. We are sister company from PBK. We used to call PBK Engineers, and Leaf has been in business as Leaf for over 20 years. And we have about 500 plus K-12 clients throughout the country. There's some of the school districts that really we work with the past few years. And now here in the Valley, we have a tremendous base of clients. PSGA, Weslaco, we did work for IDEA, just finished one in San Juan, El Paso, Mission, Edinburgh, South Texas College. We've got a project with South Texas Mid-Campus ongoing right now. And also Corpus Christi ISD, we got projects with UTRGV in Brownsville. And there's some of the projects. This is the project, see the pictures. It's Mary Carroll High School in Corpus Christi. We just finished this school about a year ago. It's approximately 418,000 square feet of building. And I have the privilege to work for Corpus Christi CISD. The last 11 schools built in 12 years. I work in every single project. I guess I'm doing a good job because they keep giving us the next project. This is a project we just finished a few years ago with PSGA. It was the aquatic facility. This is a project we're doing right now in the Mid-Valley campus, South Texas College. It'll be the new welding shop, a new automobile facility, and HVAC shop. We have projects also going on with the Edinburgh ISD, new renovation and addition some of their gyms. And again, we are key in construction management. We stay behind, we provide reports, we provide inspection, and we stay behind the liaison between the contractor and the owners. And we represent, again, not only from the beginning of the construction, we stay all the way to the end. And of course, the 12-month walkthrough as well. So I didn't want to bore you guys too much on it, but I'm open for questions. I got with me David. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hello, I'm David Iglesias with PBK Architects. I just wanted to add that Leaf Engineers is a sister company for PBK. PBK has been in the Valley for 20 plus years, so we have a local office. We have a staff of 7, and not just here local, but all our offices in the state of Texas are interconnected. So there's no deadline out of touch as far as resources and staff availability to be able to give the attention our clients need.
1 minute, Mr. Iglesias.
Okay, I'm available for any questions and answers y'all may have.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. If anybody wants to start, go ahead.
I have a couple questions. Thank you for clearing that up, because guy works for PBK.
I brought it in for moral support, you know.
So have you guys ever been involved in a project that resulted in a significant delay?
Believe it or not, a lot of projects can be significant delay. I personally been involved projects delay, but the bottom line is you gotta be there from the beginning to the end and monitor the project, right? What is steps taken to, what is the delay? The delay is to HVAC equipment, that's usually we get in 3 months, now you gotta wait 18 months. Switch gear for electrical, they used to get in 2-3 months, now you gotta wait 2 years. But if you can have those prerequisition purchased before the project start, it's no excuse for delay. But yeah, as these days and age, seems like all the contracts want to use any excuse for delay. But it's up for the management, the design team, and the construction team for the school district stay in the top. And the delays, what you monitor is the pay-up application, right? So when you control the pay-up application, they only get a pay what they have done to specific bond. If you don't control the pay up, you pay them too much, then you don't have a stronghold to hold them back to keep up with the schedule.
And then, have you guys ever been involved in any type of litigation with respect to construction defect or any kind of issues with design?
No, we stay behind of our projects. You know, it's no project. Sometimes you have small design omissions, right? And PBK and Leaf, we stay behind what we design. I personally been here. My first project in the Valley, I was just a younger guy. I was the Dodge Arena. I used to call it the Dodge Arena Hidalgo. Then I work at Veterans Memorial Nursing Home. So I've been here for over 20 years. I never had a single project or litigation all these years I've been here that they come after Leaf Engineers or PBK with me as well.
Yeah, I've never worked with PBK or Leaf Engineers with respect to lighting upgrades or HVAC upgrades. You guys have significant, and it's not really, you didn't really put that in your presentation. It was more athletic kind of stuff, right? Do you guys have experience with respect to those types of projects?
Oh, yeah. We do a lot of lighting. Sorry, allergies been killing me. Apologize for that. You know, this day and age, all your light fixtures, all your design build, got to meet the energy code. It's a new code. You got to meet the state's requirement. And we design all our buildings. You can see from the Corpus Christi sports facility, we handle all that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure.
The question I'm going to ask you, I've been asking everyone that's been presenting.
Sure.
It deals with your quality control and assurance process, and you touched. It's actually here on this last slide. What type of on-site monitoring, visitation? What is your on-site when you visit at the site level? What does that look like to make sure that your designs are actually being implemented for accuracy? What does that look like? If you can just briefly.
Well, it's the key thing is your design, right?
Right.
And then you got your specification. Your specification corresponded to the design arrangements for the school district.
Okay.
Anybody on my team that walk any job has got to be familiarized with the drawings and specification.
Right.
And your site observation, don't just say, look, the receptacle is being installed or conduit's been run. You got to run the efficiency. And that deficiency stay in your report until your visit next time that prove that the thing's been rectified. You got to stay from the beginning. You know, for me, you see a dirty piece of mud on the ground, at the end you want to see a beautiful building.
Right.
And some people can do the talk and do the walk, but I guarantee you, and my projects, Weslaco, we always kept good quality control. And finish on time and under budget, so that's the key.
Very nice.
And just to add to that, we have a field representative, John Arevalo, and he's constantly out on site doing observations and monitoring, and he is a true bulldog to be sure that they're following the contract documents. So we're glad to have him.
Thank you, sir, for the detail.
Yeah, and our company's a policy. Every Friday's email that goes out to all the offices called the Friday report. Our clients gotta have a report on hand every Friday. And then from the beginning of the report to the end, you see the progress and the deficiency collected.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
And do y'all use local contractors for your projects?
Oh, yes, yes. All projects are done in the RGVs, all local contractors. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Y'all been too nice. Come on. I'm so glad.
Anyone else?
Anybody else have any other questions? Mr. Trevino, you're online. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask? Mr. Trevino, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. What is the biggest, I saw some of the projects you listed here. What is the biggest price ticket project that you have done here in the valley?
Biggest project, wow, so many.
Cost-wise?
The Brownsville, we did a 2 performance arts center. That was pretty big. I don't remember the budget spent on that. Usually the architects have the budget. We did a PSGA, the swimming complex. We did a lot of work for missions, renovations, and new buildings, retrofit, HVAC upgrade. I
think the PSG was 7 million each, somewhere around.
Yeah, so it's about 16 million, I think,
For
total
both
for the,
pools.
both aquatics combined. So, I mean, yes, I mean, and we're talking about, multi-million-dollar projects, concurrent, right? So, and we're able to manage all of that. So.
No, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, and I just finished, like I said, a high school for Corpus Christi was a $198 million project, 500,000 square feet of high school. So, and we got 2 elementary school going construction right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Are there
sir.
any further questions from board members?
Not from.
Okay, that'll be all for today. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thanks
your
so
time.
much. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Silva, can you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm at a board meeting still. We have some presentations. I emailed you earlier, but I don't know if you got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we shouldn't be much longer, so as soon as I finish, I.
The next presenter is Sigma HN Engineering.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Silva. Okay, bye-bye. My class. So no, I'm not lying.
Tell him he needs to text next time. Nah, I was joking. He's gonna watch the video.
That was our first class.
Wait a minute.
I hate missing class. Oh.
Sigma. Where's the class?
It's here in Weslaco, behind City Hall.
No.
Oh, no, today it's online. That's a good thing. Tomorrow I have class at 7, but it's here in Weslaco.
Is that the extension center they have over there?
Yes. No, meeting tomorrow. Yeah, right behind City Hall is the UTRGV. So I'm lucky it's here in Weslaco.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
What class is it?
This is problems in education, I think. And I actually was going to talk to you about it because I have to do some kind of internship and ask somebody to, identify problems and help me solve issues. So thank you, I appreciate that. Oh, just who can I go to that might have experience?
Yeah, we'll talk about this one.
Good evening. Before you begin, I'll just let you know you have 5 minutes to do your presentation. After 5 minutes, we'll have 10 minutes for the board to ask you questions. So whenever you're ready to begin, Dr. Rodriguez over on the corner is a timekeeper. He'll let you know when you have 1 minute left for your presentation. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and begin.
Okay. Well, good evening. Thank you for the invitation. We really appreciate the opportunity. My name is Gabriel Hinojosa.
Tony Nicanor.
We're with Sigma HN Engineers. We were established in October 2012, so we've been in business as Sigma for 11 years. Prior to that, we worked for another MEP engineering firm here in the Valley. We're both registered PEs. My focus is mechanical engineering, and Tony's focus is electrical engineering. Our office is located in McAllen, Texas. Our services, I listed here different services that we provide: MEP, structured cabling, voice and data, audio video systems, safety and security, access control, intrusion detection, surveillance systems. We design emergency standby generators, alternative energy, wind and solar systems. We provide facility services. On all our projects, we provide construction administration services as well. Power system studies. We assess MEP systems. We do acoustics engineering as well if needed. We've done on-call services for other school districts, as you'll see in a bit. We use AutoCAD and Revit. We do MEP building modeling. We worked on new construction, renovations and additions, HVAC improvements, lighting retrofits, restroom remodels, drinking fountain improvements, parking lot lighting, sports field lighting, multi-sport video, scoreboard and sound, lightning protection. We've worked on network operation centers. We do code compliance reviews and energy compliance reports. Just a small sample of the services we provide for other school districts. This is our org chart. Weslaco would be, Weslaco ISD would be, they can communicate directly with me or Tony. We're business partners. We're both PEs. We're both principals of our firm, and that's our team. On-call services. Right now, we have on-call services for Edinburgh CISD, Harlingen CISD, La Jolla ISD, Brownsville ISD, UTRGV, South Texas College, City of Edinburgh, and City of Weslaco. Our references, listed them there. You can contact them. We invite you to contact them. We feel confident that they'll speak highly of us. And we listed a contact for every entity that we do on-call services. This is the part of the presentation where we're going to list a few projects that we've done. Brownsville ISD, Rivera Early College High School. That project was about $3.5 million. We replaced 29 rooftop units, exhaust fans. We did the entire high school, the LED lighting. We switched it over to LED, interior and outdoor lighting. There's some photos there. La Jolla ISD, Irene M. Garcia Middle School HVAC improvements. That project was approximately $1.5 million. Again, we replaced packaged DX rooftop units and split DX systems. We designed new gas piping distribution system for all the rooftop units, and we provided the electrical service for all the HVAC improvements. There's some more pictures. Harlingen CISD HVAC improvements at Long and Wilson Elementary Schools. That project was approximately $590,000. We replaced rooftop units. Did some structural reinforcement. We had to bring in a structural engineer to help us out.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
Okay. And we've done condenser water piping retrofit for high school in Edinburgh. South Texas College, Stark County campus. That project, we were tasked to design a new thermal plant for the entire Stark County campus. UTRGV, they've hired us to do parking lot lighting upgrades. Here's a before and after. Some more lighting and control improvements for Edinburgh CISD. We did secured entrances also for Edinburgh CISD. And we did the sports lighting for Edinburgh CISD for the football stadium.
Okay, that's 5 minutes.
Which is awesome, by the way.
And I just told him, that's the stadium that turns colors, isn't it, when they score a touchdown? I love that. And we've been saying how that would be awesome. The athletic director over there is like, yeah, that would be nice, purple, black. Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions for the board members. Go ahead, anybody who has a question, go at it.
Okay.
You want me to go
Usually
first?
between these two.
We did the sports lighting for La Jolla ISD also.
Yeah. because
Y'all
those
gone
are
to
the-
For who?
only two.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else? La Jolla also does that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but La
nice.
Jolla, they put on the conjunto and all that good stuff.
We have that too here in Weslaco. We can do that.
It's a party when they score. Have you guys ever been involved in any type of litigation with respect to any of the designs that you've done?
No, we have not. We've been fortunate.
There you go. We'll knock on wood for you.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I've seen your name many, many times in agendas for application for payment and all that good stuff. But I've never worked with y'all personally. But have you guys ever been involved in a project that had significant delays?
Go ahead.
I also say no, we have not had that situation occur. All our projects have been either on time or slightly, I say a month and a half, 2 months.
So I would imagine that you guys got selected for ESSER HVAC, right? When we got a whole bunch of that money.
Yes.
Did you guys have any issues with any of those projects that you got selected for?
We did ESSER for La Jolla, for Brownsville and Harlingen, and we're pretty proud to say that, like for Edinburgh, we got our projects within budget in a climate where everything was way over budget. And the same thing for Brownsville ISD. And Harlingen, we were right there as well. As far as time frame, all the projects, yes, we did, but that's not really nobody's fault. It's just a supply chain issue.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, when you talk about ESSER, that is one where all the projects are delayed.
Yeah,
Yes.
'cause I think that's where I saw your name related to kind of a ESSER HVAC project stuff. I can't remember off the top of my head, but.
Yeah.
You know approximately how much dollars worth of ESSER projects that you guys did?
Not off the top of my head in money. Tony, do you remember? I don't remember. I know Edinburgh was more significant, would be, I'd be guessing, but it was somewhere around 11 million. Brownsville, I think, don't quote me,
Right.
Around 8 million. And then Harlingen was about maybe 6 or 5.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, we can provide that.
But we can provide that information to you.
Thank you.
Yes. I guess I'll go next. So the question that I've been asking is every single firm that we've been interviewing or that's been presenting is, and it's a chance to give you a little bit more detail because I know you were timed initially in the 5 minutes. So if you could be brief and provide any more additional information that you want. As far as quality control, what is your firm's quality control and assurance process, but at the on-site level? Like how deep of a dive do you take to actually seeing as far as the contractors and their subcontractors, the installation, the accuracy of your design? Like, how far do you go for that?
You're talking about during construction.
Right, during construction, right. Once we move into that phase.
I mean, honestly, we get involved on all phases of the project, from procurement to recommendation to, the first phase being, when they install all the infrastructure underground, and we go out there, we do our site observations, we provide a report, and then we ensure that they follow up with whatever our recommendations were. And then as they're building up, until once they start erecting walls, they start running piping, they start, whether it's plumbing or electrical, same thing, we'll go out there, we'll do a second, and we call them field observations, not punch lists, because they're observations during the project, right? So we're intimately involved, Gabriel and myself. We do also have support from some of our staff that helps us, do those observations so that we can also return them in a very timely manner so the contractor can act on it.
Thank you so much.
We'll do a pre-construction meeting, and that's where we establish. Let's go over the plans. Make sure that you're good with your bid. Did you leave anything out? We have that meeting up front to make sure they're good. And that if they have any comments, any RFIs, we address them at the very beginning. And then throughout the construction, Under slab, we're there. Before they pour concrete, we want to be there. When they're doing rough-in on the walls, they call us to do a rough-in inspection, we do that. And we provide field observation reports. And then above ceiling is the third formal one. And then we'll do a punch list and then a back punch. And sometimes we do 2, 3, 4 back punches, depending on the contractor.
The other thing is that after the completion of the project, there's usually a 1-year, warranty. That contractor is obligated to, still be involved in the project. We're usually involved in that too. So we don't just walk away, once the project's turned in.
Before the 1-year warranty is up, we do a walkthrough with the owner.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the additional detail.
Further questions?
Yeah, my question is in regard to consultants. Is that the team that you usually work with, or are they in-house, or you outsource that? How do you usually, in regards to these projects that we have listed here?
Okay, for these projects here, we do them all in-house. They're MEP.
Okay.
If it's structural where we have to bring in somebody, then we do bring a consultant. We're fortunate that in our building where we're located, my brother's a structural engineer. So for us, it's real easy, but we can work with any structural engineer that the school district prefers. But if you guys leave it up to us, we'll just use my brother because he's right there in-house. We haven't had a need to bring in a civil engineer. So it's really just been a structural engineer that we've had to bring in to help us out.
Thank you.
And my question is, do y'all hire local contractors to work on your projects?
You want to go ahead?
We prefer it. I mean, we don't hire the contractors,
But you use them.
But yes, we recommend the local contractors, absolutely, 100%. And obviously, we have our preferences too, which, we would talk.
You give your opinion or suggestion.
We would give our opinion to a medic or whoever the team is, to say, hey, we think these are the good subs.
And that's based on previous performance. Obviously,
right.
What our experience has been.
Right.
The way I should have worded it was y'all use local contractors, so.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Trevino, do you have any questions? You're online?
No, I'm okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. If there are no further questions, that'll be all for today, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time and your presentation. Appreciate
Thank you for the
it.
opportunity.
Yes.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Have a great evening.
Stay warm.
Likewise. Okay, one more to go.
How do you sign it? Right.
Your school email?
The last presenter is Trinity MEP
Trinity.
Engineering.
You know your school email?
No, but I have to find it. Oh, is that the donkey email?
It's through your school email now.
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
Okay, then there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, no, there's nobody there. He's not here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Before you begin, let me just let you know you have 5 minutes for your presentation. Dr. Rodriguez will let you know at the 4-minute mark when you have 1 minute left. After the presentation, we have 10 minutes of questions from the board. So whenever you're ready to begin, go ahead and start, and he'll start the time.
I am ready.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you for having us here. My name is Leo Munoz, and I'm with Trinity MEP Engineering, and we're here to present for the Weslaco ISD Phase 1 bond construction projects as it relates to only HVAC, lighting, and fire alarm upgrades. Trinity MEP Engineering LLC was established in 2008. We have 15 years of working experience in the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection design industry. Trinity MEP Engineering began and continues to operate here in Weslaco. Today, our company is composed of 16 design professionals and 4 support administrative staff. The consulting engineering service that we provide are HVAC, and it has a realm of things that includes HVAC. Could be chilled water, it could be split systems, DX, VRF systems, and so forth and so on. I don't want to bore you with the details, but I can answer any questions down the road. We also do lighting retrofits, photometric renders. Most of our lighting designs are now with LEDs. We do lighting controls, either wired or not wired, daylight harvesting, and whatnot. We also do plumbing design, but for this particular presentation, it's very limited, so I just put them in kind of like a little light color. And then lastly, we do fire protection design as it relates to fire alarm and fire sprinkler systems. And we follow the respective codes, NFPA 72, NFPA 101, life safety, the International Fire Code, the International Electrical Code, and NFPA 13 for fire sprinkler systems. I am Leo Munoz, and this is my biography. I got a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering for the University of Texas at Austin. I started in the MEP engineering design industry in 2001, and in 2008, I established Trinity MEP Engineering, and I have more than 22 years of professional practice. My education, as I mentioned, was from the University of Texas at Austin. I'm a registered professional engineer and a registered fire protection engineer, and those are my memberships that I applied to. To my left is Fidencio Alvarado. He has 30 years of experience in the engineering industry, doing lighting, power, fire alarm systems, construction administration, and project management. His areas of expertise, as some of you all may already know, are in educational, a lot of commercial, residential, and so on. His education is from Texas State Technical College, South Texas Community College, and the University of Texas Pan American. And to my right is Wilford McGee. He's got a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from the University of Texas Pan American. He started in the MEP design industry in 2009, and he has worked his entire professional career with us. He's a registered professional engineer, and he was licensed in 2015, and so forth and so on. Other design professionals that compose our mechanical design team are Edgar Limon, first and foremost. Wilford McGee, PE, is the department head. Edgar Limon has 6 years of mechanical experience. Cesar Garcia has 3 years. He's a mechanical graduate engineer of experience. Jose Garcia is from Weslaco. He just graduated from the University of Texas UTRGV and has 1 year experience at our firm. Caleb Giblins is also from Weslaco. He's a mechanical designer. Fidencio Alvarado is the department head for the electrical design team. And under him is Alex Garcia. I made a mistake there. It's not 11 years of experience. He's got 14 years of experience with us. Sergio Castillo is a local resident of Weslaco. He's in electrical engineering training and has 9 years experience with our firm. Jessica Alarcon is a graduate civil engineer that is practicing electrical engineering at our firm, and she has 2 years of experience at our firm. Eno Gonzalez, electrical designer, 5-year experience, and Grant Marshall, he's our IT specialist. He has 4 years of experience with our firm.
1 minute, Mr. Munoz.
Design professionals, we have 4. Juan Gonzalez, 15 years. Jesse Venegas, 12 years. Jorge Garza, 1 year. Noe, 1 year. And the administrative staff. A lot of our work is in renovations and retrofits design of work. This constitutes about 50% of our work. Because of this, we accurately estimate construction budgets based on prior project experience. We provide thorough walkthrough of building inspections during the design phase so we can get all the existing conditions, and we regularly meet with staff to coordinate all the MEP systems. Projects that we've completed for Weslaco, we've been here since 2009, and we have completed over 20 projects for the school district. The most recent have been for HVAC light retrofits at
Silva, Gonzalez, and Kate. We've done a fire alarm system for Weslaco High School and the administration building, Central Middle School Gymnasium. We did it in 2018. New HVAC for Rico Elementary, Kleckler Herald, and this administration building in 2020. HVAC controls for East High School in 2021. Emergency lighting at Memorial, Kleckler Herald, Airport, Rico, and Mary Hogue, Northbridge in 2020. And we're currently doing new HVAC for Memorial, Airport, and Northbridge Elementary School.
Mr. Munoz, that's 5 minutes. I'll have to stop you there, sorry. But you can continue on with the questions and whenever we need more details or elaboration. So we'll go ahead and open it up for 10 minutes of questions from the board, and it's an open question, so go ahead, board, whenever you're ready. And it's either one of these two.
Mine is very simple.
Yeah, today.
Coach, too.
Coach, too.
Y'all do use local contractors to do your project work, right?
Well, most of our staff is local. Most of the people who work on projects will be from here. We just do the design work. When it goes out for bids, whoever we choose hopefully is a local contractor. But yeah, since we're local, we're going to keep it as local as possible.
Sure.
If that answers your question. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
So Trinity is another one of those companies that I see all the time and does good work and has good reputation. But I have to ask the question, have you ever been involved in a project or involved in litigation with respect to your work?
Yeah. Technically, yes. In one project for PSJA, it's not because of any flaws in our design, but because a bankrupt contractor was sued and all the design professionals got sued.
It was the surety projects?
Yes.
Okay. So I forgot the name of that contractor that went out of business.
Descon.
Yeah, Descon.
Yeah.
Have you ever been involved in a project, that litigation is still ongoing?
No.
Have you ever been involved in a project that still has that has been significantly delayed?
I can't think of one.
Yeah, other than COVID.
Yeah. Sometimes contractors fall behind, but it is up to us and whoever is running the project from the school district to kind of push the contractor to finish on time. So no, most of our projects are finished within the anticipated timeframe that we allocate for that particular project.
So I know you're busy because I reviewed some of your contracts.
Yes.
Do you have the capacity, if you were selected, to take on some of these projects?
Yes, we do. And that's why I specifically went through all the support staff that we have at our office. We have 20 engineers working at the office. I think we're one of the largest firms here in the Valley, and I think we have the horsepower to push out any work if it comes our way. And we're local. It's not like we need to go visit the job site, as I was going to show you all here, for hours away from the Valley. We're local, so anything that comes up, we can be there within, a few minutes.
And you have a couple of HVAC projects going on right now?
We have 3 HVAC projects, and we're about to push them out to bid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Are you about finished on these projects?
Yeah. I actually just doing the controls. So the design is done. We're just working on how we're going to control the equipment, and we're coordinating with the school district and all these, control points. So we're almost there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Trevino, you're online. Do you have any questions?
Delayed.
Mr. Trevino, do you have any questions? Okay. Thank you. Are there any other further questions from any of you?
I do.
Oh, Mr. Dos
I've been
Santos?
asking everybody who's been presenting this question as well. So I just wanted to ask you, and like everyone else who came, you have a great, impressive statement of qualifications that you all submitted. This question is just to kind of see how deep of a dive we take from making the designs and the plans to actually making sure that there's some accuracy in implementation of them. So I'm going to just give you a small window of opportunity. You can ask us some more details. It's for us and it's also for our stakeholders that may be watching as to what kind of quality control and assurance process you may have within your firm that you make sure that at the on-site level that there's accuracy of your designs.
Yeah. So we pride ourselves, and Medico is here to attest to that. Like the design professional who works on your projects is also meeting with with the school district and is actually doing the site inspections. So we know firsthand what we did and we know what to look for. So we do it. That's just the way we operate. And being local here really helps out a lot. And I hate to harp on it, but it is true. For us to go from the valley to somewhere else is a lot harder than it is to go from my office to whatever jobs that we have here. So I think our past experience can speak on our behalf that we've done a good job when it comes to that.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
No.
Okay, there are no further questions, so that'll be all. Thank you so much for your presentation, for your time, and for coming today. We really appreciate it.
All welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
That's the last one?
Yeah, you could. I mean,
We can talk about it when they step out.
it's up to us.
Or no, we can't. talk.
We can't, yeah, he said we can.
We could, or we could do blind, however y'all want to do it.
We did blind last time.
Last time was blind.
We did blind on architects.
But we meant to do the same thing and we messed up with the numbers. That's why I'm saying, can we talk before?
Oh, well, we
get
can
on
talk
the
about, I
same
think, the process
you know
as
your
far as
Google
when you
email?
score.
Yeah, let's just keep it the same. Let's just do
Okay.
blind.
How do you get it?
Yeah. Only because we already started that in the first.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened yesterday, like, oh, we all wanted this one, but then.
Well, now we know that we can't
your
put just
email.
one all the way down. We have to actually number each different category. So those that are
No, I
broken
know
out,
that.
for instance, like fire alarm systems, those are combined into one,
I got mine.
right?
I got mine. I'm good. I'm tough.
Yes.
Wait,
Mr.
Yeah,
Butterman?
yeah, it's just one, and then the
Yes,
other
it's
one's a
just one.
3, and then the other one's 1.
And then, so for the HVAC upgrades, we have
What's,
3.
3 options, yeah. And one is for all HVAC controls district-wide, and the other one is for the separate campuses. So 3.
Thank you.
I use my
Where
old
is the,
password.
how do I get there? On here.
When did you change it?
Oh, no, I have this one. Oh, they changed it? Okay.
Right before the meeting.
So I need to log
It's
on.
weird. It's weird because it was letting me use my old password, but on my phone,
So I'm using this
it
one
wasn't
here?
letting me use my old password. That's weird.
so
Thank you, sir.
the email or phone is this one, Carlos?
That's your,
OD?
yes, the whole thing.
Okay.
Did somebody inform Mr. Trevino that he changed Jesse's terms? So he can log in?
On the top, it says the 100%, put it like at 90.
There you go.
Mr. Trevino?
Coach, do you need me to help you, or you're good?
Yeah, I'm good. I just, let me just log on real quick.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I'll be in a quick.
Hold it. Carlos has a question for you.
Is the mics, are the mics on or off?
Mr. Trevino, you're going to need to log into your Google Drive.
I noticed it yesterday. But it was yesterday as we were waiting for manually doing the rankings. The camera was still on. The camera was still on. I know. Yeah. No, well, usually I don't. I was talking and joking around, but they couldn't hear me though. But they could visually see. Yeah.
Okay, and then what do we do? Is that it? We just rank it and you automatically see it, or do we send it somewhere?
It populates to a master list.
Carlos, I'm not getting anything.
Pues hijos.
You can't take that.
You can, Carlos.
I put that in there now.
Oh. There's a-
So, did we get hacked or what? Did somebody change our password?
I changed your password. I will admit.
Dan, are mine showing up? Yeah, okay.
They're coming through you.
Are our mics still on or no?
Yes.
Yes. I was gonna make a comment on the difference in presentation styles from the architects to the engineers, but I'll hold on.
Just like you said that already, and you're gonna hear that, oh, what is he trying to say?
You got your, you got your food.
The sweets.
I got it.
Resolution sent.
Hello.
My name's Omar Zapata. I'm from the Monitor newspaper.
Okay.
I just wanted to come here and show my face to y'all. I'm going around this year.
Oh,
Just
okay.
trying to go to all the school districts. Because I just started in September.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you, Mr.
So,
Zapata.
nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. Welcome to Weslaco.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mission. I'm working with the Monitor newspaper. I'm the new education reporter.
Okay.
You may have known Matt Wilson. He,
Yes, we all know him very well. Is he still with the Monitor?
No, he's not. Nice to meet you.
There's nothing.
Just call us anytime.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can get some of y'all's numbers just in case I ever need a comment or something like that.
We're gonna refer you to the president.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You wanna write it down?
Yeah.
I'm good at answering emails too. I'm not good at answering my phone, but I'm good at answering.
Yes, sir.
4491.
I go with.
Let me give you my email and my number.
250 4491.
4491.
Share it again? Is it not letting him?
I can't even get to Google Drive.
I saw that there was some other stories on who was it?
There's a rest room, we'll put that on there, I think.
Brownsville? Or somebody had got something. I'm like, we did too. A positive story in Weslaco.
Oh, really?
I don't remember what it was. What was it? Was it about the bond? Or I don't know what it was.
Can I try that Google with that from?
I did do a story, like a really brief story about the November election. Where I mentioned the Weslaco one.
Oh, yeah, I think we read that one too. That one was really good. Anything that's good, we love.
What is trouble?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Tomorrow, could I call you and just ask you a few questions about the bond?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, and what time would be good for you tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Thursday, anytime after 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
I don't think she shared it with
All right.
And this is your personal?
She said it.
Yeah, that's my personal cell phone.
Okay, let me see, would you want me to text you before I call you, or?
Yeah, I'm good at texting and emailing. I'm not very good at talking, but I'm a writer also, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, then I'll make sure to send you a text before I give you a call. Right now.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, then I'm gonna head out already.
Thank you very
so
much. Nice to meet you, Mr. Zapata, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Mhm. Take care.
You too. Stay warm.
Yes, ma'am.
Get it, I don't think Yvette set him up. Scott's gonna add him. But he's logged in.
He's logging in over there.
No, he's logged into Drive already, so as soon as Yvette does her piece,
She's aware.
the Scott's telling her right now.
It's gonna take a while, so I'll just go back. No?
No, it won't take long.
Carlos, can they print their sheets?
They can print, or Yvette can print them. She has capability of printing all of them.
Let me have her print them.
Yes, well, they're gonna add you right now, but you're already logged in.
Okay, so how do I get that page?
Once, it'll appear in a, if you.
Okay.
Personal email? No. She reset it.
Do you use your email, Coach? No? The WISD one? You don't use it?
It was your old.
We use an old one, but I got into with what Yvette sent me, and it gave me that, this page real quick, so.
Do we need to log him into the other one?
You want to use this one, Medical?
I can share to that account.
Because I don't have,
Medical.
I think it's faster.
You want to use a hard copy instead? I can't get in here.
plug it in. We'll do that, sir. And what can you plug it in? Or Yvette has, just give it to Yvette, Yvette will plug it in. Okay, and we'll put that as secondary. That's it.
What do you? Lot of makeup stuff? Only for the high school, right? But not the middle school? Yeah. It's tough, man. It was cold. Especially for soccer and stuff like that, outdoor stuff. The baseball or softball, where it was going on.
This coach. One of your coaches.
She sent it to a different.
It would have to be me.
No. Here, let's just see if we had it. That's fine.
We could already talked about it. You want to do it?
I'll reach out to you. Sir, there you go.
There we go.
How did you do it? Fill out.
I think they're already getting input in there.
Did you already do this?
Mr. Buttermore or somebody maybe, or medical.
She's inputting.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay, so she got it taken care of. Okay, you're good.
Excellent.
This is our first time trying this process. We'll refine it. We'll get it tuned up.
Now from here,
You'll be able to see the scores. If
just
she's putting it in for you, then
leave it as this, or do
Yeah,
we
she's got it.
transfer it somewhere?
It's automatically transferring to his
Okay.
tab sheet. So
So we don't have to D-Day.
no, sir. Everything's
Okay.
just
It is public record stuff
basically,
anyway.
as data is entered here, it automatically transfers to his master tab sheet. Just it's easier than the
Okay.
manual stuff.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, we got it open.
We don't need this anymore, do we? Or just hang on to it?
Your wife,
Oh, yes, he started to enjoy it. Sometimes she gets a little bit, she's having problems with her medication. It's gonna happen, but just don't be getting panicked. It's just the nature of the beast, with the RS, you know how it is. Now, once you get into Medicare, you were talking about different animals. But he's happy, Next month, we're gonna go to.
We're just gonna print it soon.
Okay.
That's right, we're just gonna print it.
Okay. Next one.
But Louisiana,
Oh, yeah,
you can go and just, did I do okay? I mean, I kind of try to be fair about it, but. Man, you always taught me that.
Just do one person.
Yeah. And the gray areas, it doesn't matter, because.
Yes. Your sheet. Rodriguez. Santos. You want to just sign it, Mark? That's your sheet.
Mr. Mark.
You're now ready.
This is yours.
This is mine?
Oh, yeah, this is Rodriguez.
Okay, so the rankings,
Bundle that up.
as you guys sign your sheets, the ranking sheets, I have the result here from the rankings, and I'll begin with the field replacement, and that will be Halff Associates. Then we have the tennis court improvements, and that will be Halff Associates. Running tracks goes to Halff Associates. Then we have the lighting upgrades, and that will go to Sigma HN Engineers. And then we have the fire alarm system upgrades, and that will go to Ethos Engineering. And then for HVAC upgrades, we have two categories here. The first category is the district-wide HVAC controls and Cuellar Middle School. And that HVAC category will go to E3 Integral Solutions. And the other HVAC is for B. Garza and Weslaco High School, and that will go to Trinity MEP Engineering. And those are the rankings. And if there are no further discussion or questions, we'll call this meeting to adjournment. It is 7:53, and the meeting is adjourned.